Hey guys, today is October the 24th, 2018. We're sitting in Burlington Gap on the Appalachian Trail. I think it's about mile 125 on the 216 book. Not sure about the 218. This is my buddy's setup, CJ. He's waiting for his new camper shell that comes in matching his truck, that brand new truck. We just kind of made do, and it's been working for him all this week. Here we are in our truck. Harry and I believe is back there cooking some homemade chicken soup for some hikers that we've got. Actually, we've seen these hikers a couple of weeks ago. We've already put a video up of them. I'm going to just walk over there and say hello to them, and then we've got a hiker that we haven't interviewed yet. So we're just going to look who we have here. Sally, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fantastic.
Been a couple of weeks since we've seen you. You've knocked down some big miles. Everything going well?
Everything is going great.
125 miles left.
I know.
How does it feel?
Excited.
Excited?
Yes.
Let me see who's behind you over here. I think I saw him. I think I saw him back at Rome Mountain, and he'd done a 15-mile day that day and sat down with CJ, cooked us a good supper that night. Wasn't that right?
That was a great couple days. And a nice hike with Ibex.
Yeah.
And Miss Sally Forth. We had a great time. It's good to see you again.
No doubt it's from Florida, and he called us and gave us sympathy when we lost Ole Miss. Now we've pulled back and we won 2 big ones, and he's got Georgia this week.
That's right.
We put a whipping on Georgia.
On the test.
We put a whipping on Georgia, so they're going to be wide open trying to redeem themselves.
I hope I'm on the plus side of that conversation. Go ahead.
Man, you've got, you told me already you've picked the date that you're going to summit?
Yeah.
November the 6th, I believe?
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, meet my son. One of my 2 daughters, the other can't make it, and my wife, they're going to hike the last mile with me, and I'm excited. Ironically, I planned that from day one. I mean, that was in my head. That's what I wanted. That's how I envisioned my end, since it wasn't going to be Katahdin. And for it to come to fruition with, you know, them jumping, actually they suggested it to me, so it's how wonderful it works. So they're on board, and I couldn't pick a better way to end that hike.
God is good.
Yeah,
God is good all the time.
Exactly.
You got about 125 miles left on my book, the 216. It may be a little bit different. How does it feel to be that close?
Oh, incredible. Hard to believe that I'm that close. I mean, that's the other thing. You know, we're talking less than 2 weeks, 125 miles. I've got time. So I'm planning, you know, 0 days and try to savor this last 2 weeks. And
you know, and I really like that because you have slowed down. Y'all have slowed down almost to a crawl sometimes.
Yeah.
And enjoying the last mileage, and that's a big difference of what I see with the northbounders.
It could be, and maybe just the time of the year is cooperated.
Oh,
the weather's been great these last couple of days, and we're a great bunch. There's 4 of us here that have matched up. We definitely are.
Y'all having a good time.
We're having a good time.
We're going to see one of your other friends.
Go see them.
We'll catch you later. Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to talk to a couple of new hikers here that I haven't met. I mean, I've met them, but I'm not interviewed.
Hey, Jimmy.
Give us your trail name, a little bit about yourself.
Invisible Man from Los Angeles, California.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's a long ways across.
Home.
Why did you do the AT and not the PCT, or have you already done the PCT?
Completed the PCT last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So through hike last year, met a lot of great people that hiked the AT that I met while doing the PCT. And they
give us some insight on the PCT, when you started and when you finished, and a little bit about it.
Sure. So I started May 17th, so it was a late start.
It was.
But it was a high snow year, so thankful for a late start so we could go straight through the Sierra without having to flip-flop, which was a huge advantage starting late in the season. We had plenty of water. Completed September 20th, and through that there were several fires that we had to navigate as well. So there's some road blocking that we had to deal with, and it's quite challenging, but it was an amazing year for the 2017 class.
How'd you get the name?
Invisible Man, it came from last year working or hiking in the desert. It comes from a movie. Originally it was a book, but I would wear a buff just because of sun protection. I would wear clothes on clothes, a big hat, big brimmed hat, sunglasses, and a buff over my face. And it just, a lot of people didn't know who I was, and so it just became, instead of the Mystery Man, it became the Invisible Man.
Give me a comparison between the two.
Apples and oranges. So I would say that I shared this story with another hiker that had hiked both the PCT and the AT, and I'd like to think that the PCT is kind of this sexy prom queen. You know, it's golden hair, tan, beautiful.
Never heard it this way.
Yeah, and then you have the AT is a guy that's just cut off jeans, you know, red bandana, and will kick your ass going up the hill.
I like it.
And so, yeah, I think it's just really different. It's definitely more challenging, the hiking out here, which I've really respected. Coming from California, you'd think you come out to the East Coast and just, you know, knock out the miles, but it's quite the opposite. So, as far as people, though, I mean, I really couldn't have asked for a better group to connect with. So,
now, how many different groups have you been with?
Well, I started after Damascus after trail days. So late September, or excuse me, late May is when I jumped on trail. And
I think we got a truck coming up here. If we do, we'll tag this if we have to, because I definitely want to get everything you're saying.
Sure.
Now, are you thinking about doing the CDT?
I am.
When?
Yeah, I have some friends that are already planning on it next year. They've reached out to me saying that they're underway right now with getting the logistics figured out. What I'd like to do is knock this one out first before really focusing on the CDT.
Okay.
If not a full, complete through hike on the CDT, at least sections of it.
Okay. Now, you think that this one is physically more hard?
I do. I do, yeah. It's definitely more demanding from a trail standpoint. So obviously everyone talks about the elevation profile, and that even though it's 500 miles shorter than the PCT, it has more elevation gain and loss. So you're definitely working a lot harder. But logistics-wise, it's much easier out here. You're only 2-3 days from a bailout point.
Yeah.
If you need to get into a city or if the rain is heavy, resupply, all that kind of stuff is a little bit easier out here.
I interrupted you about the different families or different groups. Let's go back and address that.
Sure. So I started just after trail days and met some people. Sunday night of trail days was the last night, and immediately they welcomed me into their kind of bubble. And so I started with the Nova bubble after trail days and hiked with, gosh, a solid 50 people within you know, week span, either ahead or behind. So you know how it works. You're kind of leapfrogging people, and you see familiar faces. You might not see them for a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden you reconnect with them a couple weeks later. So it was really interesting and exciting to watch them transform from Damascus to Katahdin, and see the excitement. So I know I still had my finish ahead, having to flip back to Damascus and then head to Springer. But it was quite exciting to have a good group of people as we went north.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you hiked with a lot of northbounders.
I did, primarily all northbounders, very few flip-floppers, or obviously the Zobos hadn't kicked off at that point.
And that's cool, because a flip-flopper, no matter where you flip from, you have the opportunity to see both sides of the story. You see, the northbounders going back. And when you got there, Ibex, you met Ibex, I believe.
Briefly.
Okay, briefly.
Yeah.
She told me that she was depressed when she got to Katahdin because she was leaving all of her friends and still had some to go. Sure. What about you?
No, I would concur with that feeling as well. You had spent the last 4 months with a lot of these incredible people, really talented from adverse backgrounds, education-wise or work-wise, whatever it is. It's a melting pot of people, and so you really start to make those connections with various personalities, and so that's what's really great about thru hiking, getting out of your comfort box and comfort zone and meeting some really neat people. So after that, when you do Summit Katahdin and you come down to Millinocket and you celebrate, you still have some days ahead, or for me it was about a month, 4 to 5 weeks to go. And I was nervous, certainly, about who was I going to meet, who was I going to connect with.
I understand.
Was I going to have the I guess mental fortitude to carry on after seeing Katahdin?
That's good information.
But I think having my experience on the PCT last year, realizing that the mental game is the biggest part of this hike, I was able to remember what I'm out here to do, and that's to complete a thru hike in a single season. And so it made it a lot easier when I connected with Sally Forth and No Doubt, and just recently.
When did you do that? When did I saw you at Rome Mountain? Maybe where did I see you?
Yeah, we connected. What was that? Uncle Johnny's, maybe? No, it wasn't Uncle Johnny's. It was Irwin.
In Irwin, there's Uncle Johnny's.
Yeah, okay. It was Irwin.
But were we at the McDonald's, or we were at Uncle Johnny's, or where?
McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, you and CJ and No Doubt were at the table next to us, and I recognized, and we connected eyes and
that's what we
said
did.
Hello, and certainly thankful we connected.
And so you've been basically with them kind of since then?
Correct.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how will you get back to California?
Well, we're kind of all collectively thinking of ideas, and so there's potential of going obviously to Atlanta, but it's from Atlanta. How do I, get back? Is it by train? Is it by bus? Is it by plane? Plane is obviously the easiest and probably the least expensive of choice, but it also, the re-entry is a lot quicker, if that makes sense.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and so I'm sure you've interviewed a lot of other hikers that are nervous about returning back to daily life. And so fortunately, I have a couple weeks until Thanksgiving. I had planned 6 months, and I'm just over 5 months now on my hike. So I think I'll use some of that time to maybe reach out to a few friends that I've met along the way that are either in Tennessee or Texas, kind of working my way east to west. Yeah.
Okay, how did you get this much free time to come out here and do this?
Sure. So family business. We has luckily been real supportive.
Okay.
In helping allow the time.
Okay.
To take off, this amount of time.
What kind of work?
Car wash.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah. So a series of car washes in Southern California.
Well, they've got some in Baton Rouge, and I cannot believe I can't call their name, or they'd maybe give me a free car wash if they saw it. Huh? Benny's Car
Jimmy,
Wash.
You get a free car wash.
Yeah, Benny's Car Wash in Baton Rouge. It's got a lot of car washes.
Yeah,
well, that ought to be a good business in California.
It sure is. It sure is.
They want to keep the cars clean out there.
That's right.
As well as themselves. You want to say hello to anybody, or word of encouragement for somebody that's sitting here looking at YouTube thinking about they might want to try this?
Sure. Immediately it comes to mind is my dad's 70th birthday. That just happened on the 14th of October. My sister, Jennifer, her birthday was 2 days ago, which was October 22nd. So October is a big month for our family, and being out on the trail was, a little difficult this year, not being able to connect, especially with such a big birthday for my father.
Sure.
But he understood, and he wished me happy travels, and that meant a lot. We had a good exchange. And so certainly love you, Dad, and glad, you support us, and really thankful to be out here, but also excited to go home and see friends and family and reconnect with you all.
Well, y'all have a great attitude. I'm studying the trail as much as I'm helping people, and I'm realizing that the flip-floppers, not necessarily southbounders, but flip-floppers, seem to have a different attitude at the end. And I'm trying to put my finger on exactly why that is, and I'm not sure. We've got a lot of things written down about it. What would you think would be the difference in a northbound and a flip-flopper?
Yeah, great question. I think we all have bounced ideas off that, because I think our synergy and the way we've been gelling the last couple weeks, all being flip-floppers, is clearly noticeable than some of the southbounders that have come through, or the northbounders that I was working and hiking with and really bonded with over the summer months. I think maybe, maybe when you're going a traditional north or south hike, from A to B, maybe you always have that finish line always in mind, and so you want to speed up to break through the tape, so to speak, so
it just breaks the monotony and going a different way or something?
Yeah, I think maybe going this direction and or having the flip-flop idea is, it's not so much about finishing where you finish, but it's about the experience and staying really present in the moment and enjoying it as much as possible, rather than being so bent on maybe completing by a specific date or having to reach a specific mark by reaching a summit in Katahdin or Springer. So
how emotional was it for you on the PCT to finish?
That's pretty good. When I thought I was going to be a lot more emotional, but I actually was more emotional when I was touching the wall in Mexico and heading northbound for the first time. Never knowing what a through hike really was until the last couple of years. So the unknown, what is going to happen, these next few months. Am I going to be able to do it? All that kind of stuff. That emotion happened really early on. And then once I got dialed in and started clicking off the miles, meeting people, all those fears disappeared.
Okay, good.
By the time I finished, it was told to me that when I looked at the northern terminus and came upon it, I was pretty quiet. and there's some other hikers around me that I had known and hiked with for quite a number of miles, and they said it looked like I was looking at a casket, of all things, saying goodbye to a loved one.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of had a moment there of just solitude, of appreciation, letting go. Yeah, but it didn't come pouring out. It was more just kind of kept internal.
Good.
But certainly when I got home, that's really where you start to, much like an athlete or somebody that accomplishes any kind of feat, you don't realize how lucky you are until maybe a few months after.
And you'll appreciate it more after the fact. At least I found that.
That's what brought me out to the AT. Just realizing how lucky I was the first go around. And getting a chance to do it again, I mean, has been just incredible.
What about your buddy to your right? You reckon he wants to be on camera?
Well,
sure.
He will?
I think he does, yeah.
Happy to, if it'll help.
All right, we're going to go talk to him. I'm going to let Invisible Man go, let him take care of some other chores. And glad we met you, man.
Jimmy, appreciate all your help. You and CJ have been incredible. And
don't forget I believe.
Yeah, I'm real thankful to us.
The through hiker that causes all this.
That's right. But your team, really, we can't do it without you guys. So it's the little things that make us hikers go.
Well, the last thing I do want to bring up before we go, and then I'm going to get over here.
Yeah.
How important is the support back home to a hiker?
It's huge. It's huge. Absolutely. I don't have mailboxes or anything like that, but I just think
just the phone call.
Support, just the phone call, text messages. Just knowing that you have a net, if something goes wrong, you can reach out, whether it's a friend or a family member. I think it makes all the world. Okay, good deal. We're going to go high five. Congratulations, my bud. We'll see you and keep in touch with you, and can't wait to talk to you when you're doing the CDT. You got it, Jim. Future Triple Crowner guys. Invisible Man. TBD. TBD. All right, we got another guy here, and I ain't even asking, but look how tall this guy is. Yeah, he had to play basketball. Never played basketball. Give us your trail name. I'm Dr. Who. Dr. Who, tell us. Kind of with a question mark. Okay, tell us how you got that name. I'm paramedic, and we were just talking about some medical stuff when we first got on the trail, and they were calling me Doc, but there's a lot of Docs, so we were looking for something else, and didn't come up with anything else. So it was kind of Dr. Who, and ended up with part of the show, which I don't know much about. Where are your paramedic at? Different areas. Generally, I was out in Colorado. So I'm licensed in Colorado. Okay. And I do industrial safety work now. For big construction companies. Sure. That's how I got here. That's interesting, because my buddy that was with us doing Trail Magic, and he's from Baton Rouge, and we're all firefighters, and he does safety. Now he's a retired firefighter. He does safety like on the river, and say somebody falls in off a barge, and they paramedic trained and all of that too. And we had a lot of in fact, the firefighters now today have to be paramedics before they become firefighters. That's fantastic. In Louisiana. That's a great thing to be. How did you end up out here on the Appalachian Trail? Oh, just kind of a lifelong dream. When I was 16, 14, 15, 16 in the Boy Scouts. Worked out at Philmont and was very active in Scouts, and spent 3 years working out there and doing backpacking for another 3-4 years. And this was just something you would always hear about, the Appalachian Trail. All the people coming out west used to hike out east. So I became interested then, and it's something I thought I'd do later in life when I had an opportunity. And now I have a job that allows me to do that. What kind of job? The industrial. Yeah, that's right. You said the industrial. Yeah, so when the project's over, it allows me time. Now, how much, you say you've been thinking about it a long time, so you must have did a lot of planning. Surprisingly, I didn't. Okay. I kind of had the gist of things. I watched a few videos, went through all my old gear and replaced for the new stuff that I thought I'd need. I told my dad before going, he said the same thing. You probably did a lot of planning for this. And I said, not too much. I said the worst thing that could happen would be to come out here and have a flawless trip where nothing goes wrong. Then that would be a failure. You want the adventures and unique things that make it so. I'm glad to hear that. Did you give any consideration to a budget? And if you did, has it been pretty much right on? Yeah, it's been right on the money. Really? Right on the money. Wow. My idea for the budget was $1,500 a month. Okay. And I found you can do it for less. You can, if you want to, do it for like $800, $900, but you're going to miss a lot. That's right. Your buddies are going to spend an extra day in town, and you can't go. They're going to go out to dinner, and you'll be at the hotel eating camp food. I'm glad you're saying this. Keep on. Yeah, you want to run at least about $1,500, and that will allow you to have luxury items, do the things you want to do, spend the amount of time you want to do with your friends, because the worst thing that happens is you make a lot of friends out here, and then you got to leave them behind because
you got to hike on, and they don't have to.
That's right.
So if you really want to enjoy it, plan on about $1,500 a month, and plan that maybe over 5 months. You can do this in 5 months, 4 or 5 months. But
Dr. Who, I know y'all have slowed down, and so you're not in a rush to get finished. And I'm tickled to death about that. I'm just excited to see a group that's not just pushing every mile their body can give them to get through. How does it feel to be able to slow down at the last part? I mean, did you think you would do that, or did you think at the end you would run like a racehorse?
I thought I'd be taking my time at the end.
Good deal.
Because I'm doing flip-flop also. I started out at Daleville, Roanoke, and did my Katahdin, and which I absolutely loved, and that was my goal. That was my focus, was to get to Katahdin and just high as a kite when I got there. No better feeling in the world. Then coming back south, things slowed down again and had similar things that Invisible Man was talking about.
Sure.
Where it's, my motivation was, friends were gone, the motivation, the drive was gone, so you shift gears and it's more about the adventure. And it was tough not having that drive and that goal and all your friends around you. So you struggle for a while, but then you find new friends like, you know, Sally and No Doubt and Invisible Man.
Sure.
And then it all comes back around. And,
how much has the trail changed you, if any?
I really don't. I think time will tell.
Okay.
I'm smiling a lot more, a little more happy being around people, where I tend to not do so much when I'm on the jobs, doing the construction jobs that I have. I'd say that's a big thing that changed.
What about, a lot of people talk about learning to live with less?
Yes, it's definitely that. You find that you just don't need much to be happy.
Yeah.
I kind of had that going in because I work out of a camper anyway, a trailer that I take with me job to job.
Okay.
So I've always kind of been on the lesser side anyway, but this really takes it to a whole
to
new
a different level. What's your tent? What's your tent here?
The tent is it's by Lightheart Gear.
Lightheart Gear.
It's the So Long, which is just fantastic.
So Long.
Being 6'8", it's 100 inches long inside. I can do a full sit-up on that thing and not touch my head or anything.
Wow.
Plenty of room on left and right, and I use my hiking poles, so it's been a great tent.
How did you get by in high school and not play basketball?
There were just a lot better people than I was. I went to a big high school. So
hey, if you had went to some of the schools I've heard about, it wouldn't have mattered. They'd have put you in there because you're high enough just to block or something.
Oh, they were much better than I was.
Wow. And you didn't play football either?
No, I didn't play football or any of that. I did a lot of cycling in high school. Then we worked out in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
I was a ski patroller.
And what part of Colorado did you say?
Up in the mountains, Breckenridge.
Breckenridge. We skied in Breckenridge, Keystone.
I patrolled in Keystone, so I saw all of my friends out there.
Yeah, we hadn't skied in a long time, but it was a great hobby of ours for a little while.
It's fantastic.
What are you most excited about going home?
Just seeing the family again, sharing a lot of this experience with them. I'm sure there'll be a lot of stories coming out in years to come as well. But I really want to thank them for their support, because they send me things when I call and need something, they send them to me. And that's been very, very helpful, just having that encouragement.
If we could drop something from the sky on a helicopter tonight for you to eat, what would that be?
I'd say that'd be a bacon cheeseburger.
Bacon cheeseburger?
Onion rings.
Golly.
It just doesn't get any better than that out here.
That's not a big deal. Of course, somebody the other day told me...
I'll take it over lobster or anything right now.
Wow.
Big old bacon cheeseburger.
Wow, that's amazing that you say that. What...
I lost somewhere around 54 pounds on the trail.
You've lost 54 pounds?
Yeah. I was 287 when I started.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Down to like 230s.
Wow.
And that was huge.
Yeah, that is huge. Did you think you would lose that much?
I thought I'd lose quite a few. I was hoping to get down into the 220s, 230 range, kind of like where I'm at now. But the big thing was just taking time when you start the trail to not get injured. And that's true for any of that. You need to take 500-600 miles to let your body get ready.
That's good advice, man. You got some good advice.
Trail.
Yeah.
Your heart's ready, your lungs are ready, your legs are ready, but your tendons and joints aren't. It takes a long time.
How were you feeling in the White Mountains?
Oh, I love the White Mountains.
Did you?
I've always wanted to climb Mount Washington. That was part of the presidential range
of
the Whites. And like top of the game would be the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Just felt great.
Could see for a million miles.
Oh, awesome.
On clear days.
I love the Whites. When I climbed Washington, it was just slight breeze and blue sky.
When I climbed Mount Washington, I've got a video I'll show you later.
Oh, yeah?
And I couldn't see her within 25 feet when she came up to the top. And had ice all over her, icicles on her.
Amazing.
Yeah, and when I took her off the hill, I took her off the mountain that day, come back, and then you could see 100 miles the next day.
It
so she got both,
fast.
it changes all the time. What luxury item would you have loved to have had on the Appalachian Trail if you could have had it every night when you snapped your fingers? What luxury item you think you would have chose?
Oh, that's funny. I would have to go with a big frying pan. I know that sounds funny, but a lot of the food I bring on the trail wasn't camping food.
Okay.
I'd take steak, which is good for 3-4 days, and I'd have hamburger that I'd freeze, and that'd be good for a day or two, and you know, sausage and things like that. I'd bring all that with me.
Wow.
And I kind of cook it, but a lot of times I just wish I had the big frying pan to do it right.
That's amazing. You've already mentioned the support back home, and you feel it's big, huh?
I thought it was, yeah.
Okay.
Because you just got to have that base to where if you need something, you can make a phone call, and someone somewhere can help you out.
And how many groups have you hiked with? I mean, you know, just kind of.
I would say 3 different groups.
3 different groups?
This would be the 3rd group, yeah.
Okay. And you've been with this group basically the last 100, 200 miles? Or?
About 100, yeah, I'd say 100, 150 miles, a few weeks now.
Okay. What does it feel like tonight knowing that you're 125 miles from touching the Katahdin?
Oh, that's fantastic. It's a really good feeling.
Okay.
And you asked a question a while ago too, which I thought was a fantastic question. What's the difference between people hiking straight through and the difference in people flip-flop?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one is I think people who flip-flop are more along the lines of it's the adventure, it's the trail itself, it's the adventure and the time you spend out there, as opposed to just a straight-up destination. I think that's probably large for. I think that's probably the biggest difference.
Okay, cool, very cool.
So it depends on how you feel, and when you want to start, and what your true goal is. If you like to be driven and just want that go, then start in the south and go north, or north and south.
How will you get home to Colorado?
My brother's going to pick me up.
In Atlanta?
He's going to, yep.
He's going to meet you at Springer? Or?
Meet me at Springer at the parking lot, and we'll probably do the last mile
Last mile together?
Yep.
Wow, that's fantastic. Anybody you want to say hello to, or somebody you want to give a word of encouragement to?
Oh, well, I'll tell them a happy birthday to my mom. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah. They flew to Paris yesterday, so they're going to spend a week or so in Paris.
That's
And they'll get back home about the same time I do.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It'll be good to see them when I get back to Memphis.
Okay. Anybody else, or is anything else you might want to share with us that you got on your mind before we get off here and try to get something to eat?
No, food. I won't delay food.
All right, let me get a high five from you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Who.
I appreciate all your help.
Okay, we hope to see you sometime in the future again, my man.
Thank you, sir.
God bless every step between here and not Katahdin, but Springer Mountain.
Springer Mountain. Thank you, sir.
Hey guys, we're still at Burlington Gap. Everybody's eating, got their bellies full. CJ's got a fire going, and I believe is standing there watching a card game with an invisible man has taught him this game, and I think it's they got a little controversy going on here. I believe I'm gonna kind of get over here and kind of watch what's going on. They say no money. You're losing, and at least you still got all your clothes on.
You got clothes on and a clear deck.
And they don't have any money on the table. No. And they say it's
backpacking miles. I got to carry his backpack 6 miles already.
Oh, they playing for miles, huh? On slackback miles or something. This is crazy, guys. You got 124 miles and you're playing cards. You're not in bed already. It's already 6 o'clock.
That's right.
Something's wrong with this picture here.
Lazy.
Wow. This is amazing. What do you think about it, I believe? What do you think about this?
I'm not hiking and I'm brain dead, so I don't know.
In it for the adventure.
I believe in them when they get into camp at this time on their through hike with 124 miles left. They'd come in and say, "Don't talk to me, just tell me where I'm supposed to sleep, give me something to eat, and I'm going to bed." You guys, I don't know if y'all been.
We've got too much energy.
Y'all got too much energy. I think you're right.
We're gonna have to carry extra weight tomorrow. I mean, no.
Oh.
I can't.
Take it back.
Invisible Man, did you carry these cards all the way?
Oh yeah, well we just bought them in Gatlinburg. Yeah,
Oh,
we figured,
Gatlinburg.
we needed something.
On
Yeah.
the second time around, or the first?
Oh, with a terrible
What a
card
surprise.
too.
What a surprise. The originator of the game won.
Soccer, right?
I don't know. Doctor Who, did you win that game?
No, I got to carry his water now.
No, he's got. Hey, Doctor Who, I think I would quit before it gets too big. That's something.
Backpack.
Playing to carry parts of people's pack. That's a new game. I'm gonna get you to teach me that tomorrow, Invisible.
You got it.
Yeah, we're gonna see how they go. CJ's been out here with us for this whole month. CJ, what do you think about it?
It's getting cold.
It's getting cold. CJ, we've been cold, man.
It's great. It's great. This is one of the best months of my life.
Is that right? Man, I showed him your camper top while ago, CJ. That looks like a stagecoach camper. And you paid $50,000 for this truck, and you got a tarp over the back for a camper shell. He's got a brand new camper shell in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, coming, but he's out here sleeping in a tarp tonight with us. We're having a blast, guys.
So much fun.
Having a good time. They're going to slack pack to Franklin, North Carolina tomorrow, about 15 miles, and stay at Boston.
28 miles. It's 28.
Well, they've got me confused now. I don't know if I'm driving or packing.
I'm just trying to make it sound better.
Hey guys, that's what it's about, having a good time out here. Tickled to death to see y'all having a great time. Invisible Man, don't take all their money tonight.
I'll do my best.
All right, guys, good night.
Good night.